Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Swami K, and today we're going to be doing a full moon practice. So you may want to set your mat up in the way that I've set it up. You can see behind me, it's back and forth instead of facing towards me. We won't be doing sun salutations or vinyasas. So we'll be doing a lot of things turned to the side, which is why you might want to adjust your mat in that way. So let's get started. So to open our practice today, I have a full moon blessing that I'd like to offer. And it is in the tradition of the pagan tradition. So we start by saying, "Great goddess of the moon, guardian of the night sky, I stand beneath your luminous light, bathed in your silvery glow, and I honor your presence. On this night of the full moon, when your power is at its peak, I open my heart to your light and seek your blessings and grace. As your radiant light illuminates the darkness, may it also illuminate my path, bringing clarity to my thoughts and purpose to my actions. Blessed be." So you may want to wait until the evening time to do this practice if you can outside by the light of the full moon. If that's not available to you, of course, you can practice at any time. And we'll go ahead and get started today in reclined butterfly pose. So go ahead and lie down on your back. Touch your toes together as you recline and place one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart. Begin to breathe at your own pace. And as you're breathing in, draw in the light of the moon, cleansing your body. And exhale any negative energies that you've been experiencing this past month. Draw in the light and exhale the dark. Go ahead and take these breaths a few more times on your own. The time of the full moon is the time for illumination of the self. So reflect back over this past month and the path that you have followed. As you do some reflections, you'll be able to see whether or not you have felt a sense of illumination, of positivity, or a sense of constriction and maybe difficulty on your path. So this full moon gives us the chance to renew our vows, to walk into greater illumination and light. As you come to your next exhale, go ahead and place your hands on your thighs, lift them up to the top, and then we'll just shake our legs out by going side to side a little bit. And then bring them back to center. Place both feet towards your buttocks, hands down on the floor. We're going to go ahead into a bridge pose. So press your hands into the floor, tilt your pelvis up, and then begin to peel your back off the yoga mat slowly as you tighten your glutes and draw your pelvis up toward the sky. On your next exhale, let's return to where we are, where we were, just gently rolling down one vertebrae at a time until your lower back hits the ground. Release the pelvis. And we'll go ahead and lift the right leg up towards the sky. Place your hands behind your thigh, or if you can grab your shin and your calf, that's fine. If not, behind the thigh is great. We're just going to do some ankle circles here, getting the feet warmed up. And then reverse the direction. And now gently begin to pull that leg toward you, lifting out of your hip. Flex your toes, toes pointing down. Get a nice gentle stretch. And if you want, you can lengthen your left leg toward the ground for a deeper hip stretch on the left side. And if that's too much, just go ahead and rebend your knee. And then we'll plant both feet back to the ground and do this on the other side. Lift your left leg up towards the sky, hand behind the thigh or the calf. Circle your foot in one direction, flexing and pointing, warming up your foot, and then switch directions. And when you're ready, you can begin to draw your left leg towards your belly, toes flexed, pointing down. And you have the opportunity here to straighten out your right leg and get deeper into that hip flexor. Just breathe. Take in one more deep breath and exhale everything down. You can go ahead and squeeze your knees towards your belly, and then we're just going to do a little rock and roll. So rock along your spine, giving it a nice massage. And then all the way up, and we'll flip over into our tabletop position. From here, we're going to begin our cat and cow stretches to warm up our spine. Go ahead and lift your chin, lengthen your collarbones, tilt your pelvis up, and then draw everything in on the exhale, pressing your back towards the sky, letting your chin drop in. Relax your neck, Inhale, go ahead back up into cow pose, stretching wide across your collarbones. And then on the exhale, drawing your belly in, again, pushing your hands into the mat and folding in on yourself. Take a few more of these at your own pace. We'll come into a neutral spine, and then you're going to lengthen your right leg towards the back. Press into the ball of your foot, rock back and forth gently, so you're getting a nice little stretch. And then go ahead and lift your leg up towards the sky, toes pointing down, and stretch the left arm out in front of you. Really stretch out long and place everything back down. Let's do the other side. Left toes towards the back. On your ball of your foot, just stretch and rock. You get that nice feeling in your calf. And when you're ready, go ahead and lift your leg up, toes pointing down. Take a deep breath in, and then extend your right arm out in front of you. And set everything down to the mat. We're going to go ahead and rock back into a child's pose. We'll only be here for a moment. And then lift up to your knees. Turn the balls of your feet, press your legs up into a downward facing dog. Walk gently towards your hands, and then grasp your elbows for a ragdoll fold. You might want to swing from side to side. Bend your knees deeply to stretch out that lower back. We're just warming up. Let your head hang heavy. Relax your neck, your jaw, your cheekbones. Drop your arms towards the ground, and we'll roll up one vertebrae at a time. And shrug your shoulders back as you get to the top, and we'll be turning now toward the front to start our moon salutations. Draw your arms up above your head, fold your fingers together so that your index fingers are pointing toward the top, and shift your left hip over as you bend toward the right, lengthening out your left side body. We'll take a few breaths here. And then come back up to the top, and then shift the right hip over and left arms to the side, lengthening out your right side body. Come back up to the top, and then we'll draw our arms down, arch our backs, big exhale here. And then inhale all the way up to the top. And we're going to step out into our goddess pose. So turn your feet out, bend your knees deeply, and draw your arms down. Make sure your knees are pressing back and are over your ankles. We'll go ahead and turn toward the left side for a warrior two. So shift your right foot and then draw your left foot towards the front. Open up into your warrior two position. Take a deep breath in and a nice exhale here. Then we'll shift forward and then into our triangle pose by just drawing your hand gently down to your thigh or your shin. Lift your right hand toward the sky and then draw it over your head. Coming back up, we'll reverse back into warrior two. Turn your foot in and we'll dive forward with a flat back slowly on the exhale until you can touch the ground. It's okay if you don't get all the way to the ground. Place your left hand in front of you and then draw your right arm up to the sky. For a nice gentle twist. Return your hand to the ground, look up, and then place your hands on your hips, flat back, draw yourself all the way up. And now we'll turn over to the right side, toes pointing toward the right. You might want to adjust your back foot, taking it out just slightly at a 45-degree angle. Bend into your warrior two, lift your arms, maybe look out over your right arm. Now you're ready for your triangle pose. Straighten that leg, reach out toward the right as you find yourself tilting over. Grab whatever's available to you. You might want to use a block. Gentle breaths here as we come back up into our warrior two position. Switch your feet so that they're both pointing forward. Hands on your hips. We'll go ahead and bend all the way over. Once again, this time placing your right hand in front of you, and we'll twist up toward the left. Draw that left hand up toward the sky. Take a couple of breaths here. Go ahead and release your arm down. Hands back on your hips, flat back. Push into your feet as you root to rise. We'll add on to that and move a little bit forward in the sequence. So back into our goddess pose, knees bent over the ankles, arms raised high to the sky. We invoke the goddess to help illuminate our path on this wonderful full moon. Go ahead and straighten your legs, reach your arms up high to the sky. Turn your right foot, angle it towards the back. Left foot facing forward, opening up into warrior two. We'll take our triangle pose, straighten your left leg, bending over to the side. Again, grabbing what's available or using a block. Then back into your knee, and this time we'll do a side angle pose. So you can place your elbow here on your thigh and lift out of your chest as you reach up toward the sky. And then draw your arm over. From here, go ahead and circle down toward the front. Place your hands on the ground. Turn your back foot so it's pointing forward. Bring it in a little, and you'll end up in your pyramid pose. Flat back, fingertips up, and then fold in toward your leg. Dropping your head toward the ground. May your path be graceful this month as you move into new and positive energy spaces. Bend your right knee and walk over towards the front, pointing your toes toward the front. Lengthen out, flat back, and then walk your hands toward the right as you bend down over your leg. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Circle it around, loosening up the neck. And then we're going to turn toward the right and kind of reverse the process. So your right toes are pointing forward. We'll go right ahead into that pyramid pose. So change your left foot in the back to point towards the corner of your yoga mat. Lift your chest up high and then fold over. We call on the goddess. We call on the moon for strength and courage as we move forward into our lives. From here, you're going to bend your right foot, your right leg over your ankle. Switch your left foot so that you're in a warrior two position. And we're going to begin lifting our left arm towards the sky. You can stay here in your side angle or go ahead and place your arm on your thigh as you reach up toward the sky. Then we'll straighten out our leg back into a triangle pose. So we're sort of reversing this process. Carefully coming up with a straight back, arms towards the sides. Point your right toes and left toes towards the front of the mat. We'll go ahead and bend over. Flat back, diving down. And this time, crawl over to the left side. You may want to have a flat back first so you can draw in a lot of length on that inhale. And as you exhale, fold toward your left leg. Go ahead now and walk back towards the center. Place your hands on your hips, flat back, lift up, and once again, let's find ourselves in goddess pose. Bend your arms, draw your knees back. Go ahead and place your hands on your thighs as you stretch your left shoulder towards the right, pressing into your thighs for that nice shoulder stretch. And then we'll reverse direction and stretch out the right shoulder. I find it helpful to just really press into that thigh so that I can get a nice stretch. Come back up to center. Straighten your legs, raise your arms above your head, and then draw your hands toward your heart. Next, we'll begin working on some standing poses. So bring your feet hip distance apart, and we'll draw our hands overhead, pointing those fingers high up to the sky, slight back bend. And draw your hands down to your heart. Today we're going to lift our right leg up to the center. Maybe grab on right below your knee. Raise your arms high to the sky and straighten your leg. From here, we'll go into our Warrior 3 pose. You can either go straight back or you can set your leg down for balance. As you tilt forward, draw your hands to your heart center and lift your right leg, toes pointing down, heart outstretched, hands squeezing together in prayer. If you find you're losing your balance, you can always tap your toes down and then try again, bringing them back up. Place your right foot next to your left. Draw your hands high above the sky. Connect your hands together. Reach up, lean back, and draw your arms down to heart center. We'll do the other side. Lift your left leg, grabbing just below the knee. Take a moment here to find your alignment and your balance. Reach your arms high towards the sky as you extend your left leg, flex your foot. Take a deep breath and then begin to tilt back into Warrior 3, drawing your hands together to prayer. Remember, you can place your foot at the back if you need to for balance as you bend forward, expanding your collarbones and lifting your left leg up, toes pointing down. Go ahead and step back towards the front of your space. Draw your arms down. And let's just take a couple of deep breaths here. Drawing your breath in all the way from your toes to the crown of your head. And exhale, reverse the process. Remember, in this full moon practice, each time we draw our breath in, we're drawing in the light of the moon, that positive energy, that charging energy. And on the exhale, we're exhaling out and letting go of any negativity. So the next thing you'll do is you will grab your right foot with your right hand and just reach up toward the sky, getting a little bit of stretch in your thigh. And if you can, begin to tilt forward as you draw your right leg back. You can stay here or you continue to fold to your own capacity, your own degree, wherever you are. And if you're having some trouble with balance, you can place your leg down and just tilt over. Bring everything back to the center, and we'll do this on the other side. Place your left foot in your left hand. Give your quads a little stretch. Draw your right arm up, and then begin to tilt gently forward. Find your Drishtri or the spot that you are going to focus on while you're tilting forward into dancer's pose. This is a beautiful pose to honor the full moon. And then draw yourself out and maybe shake your legs out a little bit. Let's go ahead and just draw our arms up. Deep breath in, gentle back bend, and place our hands at our heart. From here, you can go ahead and draw your right foot towards your leg. You might want to place your toes on the ground below your knee, or you can lift it all the way up into tree pose. Hands at the heart center. And if you want to extend this further, you can draw your hands up to the sky, Stretch up high as you can. Pretend you have the full moon in your hands, and you can feel that energy, that light exchange from the full moon between your hands, bouncing back and forth. Soak in that full moon energy. Draw hands down to heart, release your foot, and we'll go to the other side. Maybe shake out a little bit. And again, starting here, down low, just touching your toes if you're more of a beginner, or below the knee. Or if you want more, you can draw your left foot up. If you lose your balance, just go out to the side. So something that I do if I'm having a balancing challenge during one particular practice is I will bring my foot up into the position where I want it, but then if I start to tilt, I'll just gently tap down, then go back up where I want to be. So you're not drawing yourself out of the practice with falling, you're just gently balancing yourself. And I find this works really well. Hands to heart center. Again, arms outstretched toward the moon, maybe feeling that energy. And go ahead and bring everything down, hands to heart. We'll take a deep breath in, close your eyes. And a big exhale. From this position, go ahead and turn your feet back out as if you were in a short goddess pose. Bend your knees and we'll go into asana or our yogi squat. So if you need to place a block behind you, you can. This is a very deep stretch and you can sit on the block, place it at whatever angle you need as you draw your hands together. Stretching your knees apart, pushing your elbows into your thighs. Draw your right hand out to the side, stretch up, reaching high. And if you want, you can take a bind by drawing that left hand behind you and maybe just wrapping it towards your thigh. And if you can curl your right arm and maybe you can grab the fingers together to touch. You could always use a strap. Just do as much as you can. We'll go ahead and unfold the right arm, unfold the left arm, bring it back down and go on to the other side. Draw the left arm out in front of you and raise your right arm above your head. Make sure your back is straight, and then you could take that bind if you want, a half bind just touching your lower back, with a full bind circling your left arm behind you and clasping those hands. If you're doing that, make sure you're not folding forward, but that you're stretching up high towards the sky. And we'll unwind ourselves by tapping the left hand to the ground and raising our right hand overhead. And then you can go ahead and come down onto your bottom, take a seat, and we will start with a butterfly pose. So your legs are drawn close in here instead of further out. I like to press up into my hands and shift my pelvis forward so that I'm on my sit bones before I do any more work in this pose. If you need to, you can place blocks under your knees. Some people, their hips are not as open, and that's perfectly fine. So you can place as many blocks as you need, or blankets, or even a bolster. And we'll just take a flat back here. And if you can, press your elbows gently into your thighs to deepen that stretch as you fold forward and out, flat back. You might feel a lovely stretch down in that lower back, radiating up the spine. And finally, round your back and come all the way forward. You can cup your hands in front of you, and this is just a mudra of receiving here, I want you to think about what you would like to receive over this next month. Maybe you would like to receive more joy or contentment, more positivity, anything that speaks to you. And we'll just hang out here for a few moments in silence. At this time, we ask the full moon to help us to receive what we've asked for over this month and set it as our intention. Gently push your fingers into the floor as you walk up, straightening your back, and bring your thighs together. Go ahead and fold your left leg underneath you, and we're gonna you can stay here, or if you can, cross your leg over. We're gonna take a twist. So you'll bring your right arm behind you, reach up to the sky with your left, and you can just hold on below your knee here on the calf, or you could bring your elbow over to the other side. On the inhale, we'll stay to the front, and on the exhale, you'll begin to gently turn and look over to the side, or maybe even back further over your right shoulder. On the inhale, breathe in that positivity. On the exhale, twist a little deeply, more deeply, exhaling the negativity. And then release everything, and we'll switch on over to the other side. Place both feet back on the ground in a neutral position, and then wrap your right foot underneath. You can stay here, or you can draw the left foot over the right knee. Place your left hand behind you, straighten and lengthen your back, grow tall in your arm on the inhale, and as you twist, exhale over to the left side. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, twist a little further, maybe looking over that left shoulder. Let go of everything and come back into your neutral position. You might want to take a quick drink before we move on to the next section. And this time we're going to do a turtle pose. So I'm going to turn toward this side so you can see what's happening. This time, instead of drawing your legs close to you like you would in butterfly, we're going to take our legs out farther so that we have more of a gap here between our feet and our pelvic area. We're going to bend slightly over, and you can stay here, but if you have the flexibility, you can wrap your arms under your legs, placing your elbows down toward the ground. And you can stay here. This is a really nice stretch. You can begin to draw that forehead towards your toes, trying to keep a flat back if you can, and just relax into this pose. And if you want to go into full turtle pose, then you will be reversing your arms so that they're underneath your legs in the opposite direction. And then you will begin bending over, walking your hands back and your feet more forward. This gives your chest a bit of a different stretch as you bend down toward the floor. And I like to sort of dip my arms under my legs here. And then I can reach out even further and bend closer to the ground. So there are several options for you in this pose. But you can think of yourself as a turtle gently crawling across the yard in the nice light of the moon, giving you a peaceful and slow feeling. Draw on the message of the turtle to be calm, to be slow and simple. And then you can unwind from this position and we'll just shake everything out. Next, place your feet in front of you, hands behind, fingers pointing toward you, and we're going to push up into an upward facing table. So press into the palms of your hands as you lift your pelvis towards the sky. And you can stay here, or you can dip back down on the exhale and then come up on the inhale, giving it a little bit of a flow. And exhale down. Inhale up to the sky, keeping your chin tucked, and exhale down. Let's do one more time, all the way up. Maybe hold here for a few breaths. And exhale all the way down. This time we're going to lean forward. You can grab your wrist and then just pull yourself with a flat back towards your thighs. Tuck your chin in. This gives you a nice counter stretch. Go ahead and straighten up. And then maybe you want to place your hands behind your thighs as you lift up one foot and then the other for boat pose. You can stay here for your boat, or you can outstretch your arms. If you want, you can gently hold your thighs and straighten your legs. Again, outstretch your arms. There are many options. And bring everything down. Go ahead and place your legs out in front of you into staff pose. Shrug the shoulders behind you so you're drawing them down. Flex your feet, tighten your quads, and broaden across your collarbones. Then we'll draw our hands up towards the sky, pinky fingers turned in, and then stretch out over your legs, reaching toward your toes. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you go ahead and grab your feet, or you use a strap. Keeping a flat back here. Inhale and then exhale. Inhale, and on the next exhale, draw yourself down towards your thighs. Release your neck. Release your head toward your knees. And we'll just take a few silent moments here to remember our intention. And feel that light from the moon cascading over our entire body. Place your fingertips to the ground and gently walk yourself back up. And we'll go ahead and lie down on our backs. Once you're there on your back, draw your knees in, pull them in tight, and then rock back and forth to give your back a little bit of a massage. Place your left foot to the ground and then raise your right leg up. Grab a hold of your foot so you're in a half happy baby pose, drawing that knee towards the armpit. And if you want to take this a little deeper into the hip area, you can straighten out your left leg. Go ahead and rebend the left leg. Let go of the right leg, and we'll do this on the other side. Raise your left leg up. Grab a hold of the bottom of your left foot if it's available to you. If not, you can use grab your shin. Using the weight of your hand, pull that knee down towards your armpit, and then if you would like to straighten out your right leg, you'll feel that deeper stretch right in your hip area. If this is too much, you can always rebend the leg. If your leg is straight, go ahead and rebend it. Let go of your left leg, bring everything down, and we'll windshield wiper our legs a little bit. Just side to side, gently rocking. Maybe you can feel a nice release in your lower back, a nice massage. Bring your knees back up, and this time walk your left foot out just a little to the side. And you're going to bring that right leg down, just like you were in your windshield wiper, but we're just gonna stay stationary here, so we're not gonna be moving. So on the inhale, just stay where you are, and on the exhale, you might be able to go a little deeper. Feel your thigh drawing your leg closer toward the floor. So you're stretching out into that outer hip area that gets really tight from sitting a lot. Take a deep breath in and then exhale. Bring your leg back up, and then we'll switch over to the other side. Draw your left leg down towards the ground, stretching into the outer hip. Draw your left leg back up, and now your knees will fold into your chest as you draw them in with your hands. We'll go ahead and take our full happy baby right here. So this time you can grab either the outer edges of your feet or your shins or the inner edges of your feet and lift both legs up. Draw your knees down towards your armpits. You may want to rock your baby back and forth, giving your lower back a nice massage. And go ahead and release everything down. So as we're going into our final positions, you can feel free to take another bridge pose here, or maybe you want to do a restorative pose. by placing a block right underneath your sacrum and lifting your hips slightly up. This way you're not really doing any work and you can get into this relaxed pose. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And we'll just stay here in silence for a few moments as you can feel the light of the moon cascading over your body, drawing in that positive energy. Again, bringing yourself back to your intention. When you're ready, remove the block, lift your hips up slightly, and then roll down one vertebrae at a time until your lower back is on the ground. We'll take a final stretch here. We'll go into a twist. So lengthen your left leg out in front of you. Draw your right knee towards your chest. And then begin to twist over to the left, placing your left hand on top of your thigh and maybe extending your right arm out toward the side. You can turn and look over toward the right arm if it feels good for you. If not, you can leave your neck in a neutral position, looking up towards the sky. Gently roll yourself back into the center. Point both knees up towards the sky and then lengthen your right leg. Stretch it out. Draw your left knee into your chest. And again, we'll switch over to the other side. Placing your right hand on your outer thigh. Draw your right leg over to the right side. And your left arm can be outstretched, maybe turning and looking over that left arm, or just leaving your neck in a neutral position. Gently roll back to your neutral spine. We'll draw our legs into our chest one more time. And then stretch arms overhead, legs out. Everything long. As long as you can make it. And then release. Bring both arms down by your sides. Hands facing upward, legs out as you begin to relax into Shavasana. You can stay in Shavasana as long as it feels good for you. I encourage you to take at least a couple of minutes here. And while you're here, I'll just read some closing words and then leave you in silence. Thank you for your practice today. Great goddess of the full moon, I set my intentions under your watchful eye, planting seeds of hope and dreams, nurtured by your gentle light, to grow and flourish in the days to come. Great goddess of the moon, I thank you for your presence, for the light you shine on my path and the power you bestow upon me. May your light guide my way, may your energy fill my heart, and may your blessings be with me now and always. Blessed be.